Good day, students. I am Dr. Nathaniel Omotoba. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Tourism Studies, National Open University of Nigeria. I'm your online course facilitator for TSM145, the Geography of Tourism. Geography to a layman can be seen as the study of man and its environment. And tourism can be seen as an activity, a recreational activity that involves living one's environment for a period not less than 24 hours, and the end point of tourism is maximum enjoyment. This course deals mainly with how geography and tourism are interrelated, and it is my hope that at the end of this course you will understand that tourism relies so much on geographical features for its existence. Thank you, and I wish you the best in this course. Wow, we've come to the end of TSM 145, Geography of Tourism. So this instructional video is just to give you a revision, an overview of what will be taken for the past 7 to 8 weeks. I am Dr. Nathaniel Omotoba, and I am your course facilitator. In first class, we discuss the introductory part, where I define geography as the study of earthly phenomena and how man relates to them. And I told you then that geography is divided into physical geography and human geography. And physical geography has 4 realms. You have the biosphere, the lithosphere, the hydrosphere, and the atmosphere. From the word atmosphere, it refers to the gaseous part of the earth crust. From the word hydrosphere, the liquid part of the earth crust. The lithosphere is the solid part of the earth crust. Why the biosphere serves as interface between these 3 other phases. And I told you then that human geography can be defined or can be seen as how man lives and how man makes his living. Then define tourism, that according to Page and Cornell 2006, and tourism as a form of nomadism that encompasses Homo sapiens, which is right and under the right condition, pleasurable. Moving out of your immediate environment, out of your usual environment for not more than 1 consecutive year for leisure, business, and other purposes. WTO, the World Tourism Organization, 1991, defined tourism as a recreational activity that involves moving out of your immediate environment for the purpose of business, leisure, etc., etc. And I told you tourism can be divided into as many categories as possible using 2 different parameters: the location of destination and the products you are meeting at destination. For the purpose of location, you have 2 types. You have the international tourism and the domestic tourism. From that word international, it means moving out of your country. For domestic tourism activities that you engage in your home country. And on products, we have ecotourism, we have cultural tourism, sports tourism, religion tourism, classroom tourism, witchcraft tourism, sex tourism, etc., etc., as many as possible. And I told you then that tourism relies so much on geographical elements for its existence. And these elements include the relief and drainage, vegetation, landforms, weather and climate, and other human features. Before we now move to our second topic, the geography of Nigeria, I gave you the location of where we have Nigeria, Said Nigeria is located between latitude 4 degrees and 14 degrees north, longitude 3 degrees and 2 degrees east, and covers an area of 923,768 kilometers square. By boundary, at the west, is bounded by Benin Republic. At the north, we have the Niger Republic and Chad. At the east, we have Cameroon. And to the south, we have the Great Atlantic Ocean. And using the 2006 population census, Nigeria is said to have 140 million inhabitants. And by projection, using an annual growth rate, Nigeria is projected in 2020 to be at 206 million. Nigeria has 36 states, including federal capital territory. That is capital at Abuja. Then we move to the second topic, seasonality in tourism. I told you tourism is a seasonal activity that relies so much on seasons. That is your weather and climate. We define what we mean by seasons, talk about the weather. All these things are still very available on your course pages, where you can have easy access to them. So seasonality refers to the temporal fluctuation of tourism on a daily, weekly, monthly, or annual basis. And from there we move to maps and chart works. I told you that maps are very, very important in geography. Likewise, charts, they are very, very important, because what we are studying is the earth crust, and as big as it is, we need to bring it to our tabletop, and that is why where maps come in handy, so that we can be able to comprehend what we have, the earth as a whole, or a part of the earth. We comprehend it easily with the aid of a map. For charts too, especially in the area of research, chart is very, very important. I told you the relevancies of maps, how it helps to understand the world around us, how it brings the world as a whole even to our tabletop, how it helps to store information, and how it acts as research tool. And from there we move to our fourth topic, transportation. So transportation is very, very important, especially in tourism, because without transport there can never be tourism. Without transport there can never be tourism. They say transport is the right demand, because we use it to achieve as many purposes as possible, which tourism activity is one of them. Define transport then as the movement or conveyance of people, goods and services from one geographical location to the other. I told you then that we have 5 modes of transport: the road, the rail, the air, the water, and the land transportation. And from there we move to demand for tourism. Then I define demand as the commodity that a buyer is willing to buy at a price at a particular point in time. That's total number. And then supply as what a producer is willing to supply at a price at a particular point in time. And I told you what are the reasons for demand for tourism. The reasons are related directly to the types. People demand for tourism for the purpose of for medical reasons. They demand for tourism for sex reasons. They demand for tourism for recreational reasons, etc., etc. Depending on the type of tourism you are involved with, depending on the products you want to get where you are going to. And under demand for tourism, we discuss the Maslow hierarchy of needs, which is very, very important. I told you Maslow has he gave us a triangle that has 5 stages from the bottom to the top, and the very first one is the physiological needs. That includes your food, need for food, need for sex, need for shelter, and all that basic needs. And from there we go to security and safety. And this, after getting food, after you're able to feed yourself, what you think about is your security and safety. And you talk about love and belongingness. That's the third stage. The fourth stage, talk about self-esteem. And lastly, you have what you call self-actualization, and that is the peak of all the stages. And from there we move to what we call site evaluation. So I said site evaluation refers primarily to those natural resources associated with any site having recreation as one of its potential use. And these resources include land, water, landscape, building. I will talk about the criteria for site evaluation, the levels of its free of debris, talk about the ability to excavate that land, food traffic so that all the ecosystem will not be affected, the easy access to restroom, a safe use zone of 6 feet, and lastly, especially in our rural areas where most of these tourist sites are located. Looking at all these topics, it is no more news. You don't need anybody to convince you that, you don't need anybody to confuse you, so to say, that tourism don't rely on geography. Tourism relies so much on geography, so geographical features for its existence. Because when you talk about tourism, you are already discussing geography even without you knowing it. And with this, we come to the end of this class, TSM145. I wish you success in your exam, and I say thank you for those that have access to all these materials. I appreciate you. For those that are able to join us in our classes, I appreciate you. God bless you, and God bless you. Once again, I wish you success in your exams. I remain my humble self, Dr. Nathaniel Ileri Omotoba, and I am your course facilitator for TSM 145. Thank you, and God bless.